UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson has been cleared of wrongdoing over the refurbishment of his Downing Street flat. He has, however, been told it was unwise to allow renovations to go ahead without full knowledge of who could cover the cost.
They decided to spend big refurbishing their flat without working out who'd pay for it. The revamp, inspired by designer Lulu Little, is said to have cost £200,000.
I must continue my self-isolation until...
We now know work began when Boris Johnson was in hospital with COVID. Invoices were initially paid by the Conservative Party and by this man, Tory donor Lord Brownlow, although the PM eventually picked up the bill. After investigating, Boris Johnson's new standards advisor decided the ministerial code had not been breached, although the Prime Minister's judgment was criticised. Lord Geidt said, "The Prime Minister, unwisely in my view, allowed the refurbishment of the apartment at number 11 Downing Street to proceed without more rigorous regard for how this would be funded."
The important point about that particular issue was that no public money has been used in a way that would be improper, and no conflict of the sort that would give rise to a legitimate concern or a breach arose.
There is relief here that Boris Johnson has been found not to have broken the ministerial code, but the fact is he did proceed with lavish refurbishments without knowing how he'd pay for it. And it seems he only realised Lord Brownlow had contributed to the costs when he read it in the newspapers. All of that starts to paint a picture of a Prime Minister disinterested in detail and a government looking a little chaotic.
The Prime Minister just like a shopping trolley smashing from one side of the aisle into the other.
And it comes within days of Dominic Cummings' critical assessment of Downing Street.
This report is just one of several which have been launched. We've got the Electoral Commission's investigation. We're still to hear from them. We've got the Cabinet Secretary's investigation. And so I don't think this chapter is closed yet.
Are you worried about your job as Health Secretary?
If Matt Hancock's week wasn't bad enough, he was found to have broken the ministerial code by not declaring an interest in a family firm, which was an NHS supplier. But Lord Geidt argued the breach was minor, and Number 10 say no further action will be taken. It's been a bruising week for these two. Dominic Cummings said both were unfit for office. Lord Geidt criticised their conduct. But they know today's report could have been far worse.